Thank you for joining us for today's Design Review Board meeting on September 7th, 2022. If we could start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. First, we have attendance.
So noted.
Thank you. And then do we have any public comment from anyone who's not an applicant or somebody on behalf of the applicant?
Hi, Danny.
Hi. Are you a public comment?
I will leave after this. I understand why the reason I came. My name is Kirk Brannick. I'm from the Square Lake Association. I just came to talk about the landscaping relative to the MUC. I understand they aren't going to be on today's agenda. I know a special event plan, which we were supportive of. But I'm just going to drop off the issue regarding the landscaping, which Brian is familiar with, and I'm going to leave. And there's no reason to go into it. But I know in 2019 you guys approved a DRB to put in landscaping. It went to the ZBA. They approved it. And now it's been 3 years and it's still not in. And that's the reason I came, but it's been tabled, so I'll come next time.
But that situation, just so you know, they are aware that I believe it's September 14th, they're supposed to have it installed, and if not, then violations would start.
Great. And then my question was, I hope you took care of the most critical spot of the landscaping, which is next to the closest house that Leo Savoy committed to that's on that map. There was a huge oversight where you had it on two sides, but the closest home wasn't getting any landscape. The one that's affected the most.
That'll happen.
So there you go.
I'll take a look at it.
Okay. I'll have
Good look at that patio.
Those notations were on the landscape plan we shared with them. Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leo committed to that, and that's the reason I wanted to come. And great. And as long as they put it on the property line, we'll be happy.
Yep.
It's great.
And then
Thanks,
supposedly
Mark.
by September 14th, if not, they understand that violations are starting.
Super. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
green.
Thank you.
Blue. We're all getting into it. All right, next, is there any other public comment? Okay, we'll close public comment. Next is approval of the minutes for August 17th. We've had a chance to look if there's no changes. Moved by Treasurer Keefe, support by Clerk Brooke. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, next to new items. So we have the special use at 3658 Darcy Lane, Little Seedlings of Bloomfield. If the applicant wants to come on up, we'll start with Wade, and then you can add in.
So, good afternoon. In this case, we have a request for a transfer of license. Christina Del Pizzo was licensed at this address in 2018 for a child care facility licensed through the state. And the request here is to transfer that license into Aman Bazi's name. She is now residing at the residence. And in the approvals of 2018, I attached the document here for that approval and the conditions that were set forth at that time. The owner has since operated the residence, the child care facility, in compliance with these conditions. There have been no code complaints or any such thing of that matter. The fence is installed. The half-round driveway has been installed as part of that 2018 approval. And as I said, this is simply to transfer the name of this license into Aman Bazi's name. I have some pictures that were supplied by the applicant of the property. You can see the backyard, the fence, may be kind of hard to see on the screen, but it's running here and around and then over into here. In that area, next picture is the back patio of the house. The off-street parking, as one of the items we look at in the special use permit. This is the parking for the teachers. Ms. Bazzi and one other teacher will be on site. And then you can see the half-circular drive here that will be utilized for pickup and drop-off of the children. So this address has been plotted and confirmed to be outside of all the distance requirements that the state requires for properties. There will be 12 kids, no signage. The hours of operation is Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, and those conditions are all compliant with our regulations for special use permit. And so the comments from the fire and police have been placed in the file. Both departments were supportive of the request. Well, that's all I have. I'll turn it over to either Aman or Christine.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you have any questions for me?
You want to add anything, or?
Well, I have, prior to the license change, I have been working with Christina at this house for almost 2 years now. She's taught me so much. She's taught me everything, anything that Christina does, she just teaches everybody along with her. So I'm ready to open this up. I'm very comfortable. I can't wait to take care of these kids, educate them, grow with them, play with them. They're the best children ever, and I can't wait to move forward.
Thank you.
Questions? I look for a motion.
So I'll make a motion to approve as submitted and, I guess, pursuant to Public Act 110 of 2006. Also that the applicant, they already have installed, so maintain the 4-foot high fence per the permit, per ordinance, and applicant must maintain the property consistent with visible characteristics of the neighborhood. The daycare must not exceed 16 hours of operation during a 24-hour period. No signage is permitted, and off-street parking for employees and clients shall be provided on-site only and in the designated driveway parking area.
Motion by Treasurer Keeps,
I support.
support by Clerk Brooke. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That does pass.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck. Next, we have special events. So we're going to take that first one off. So next, we have 6785 South Telegraph Road for Birmingham Pediatrics and Wellness Family Fun Day. And again, if anybody wants to come up, we'll start with Wade, and then you can go next.
Thank you. We have a special event request for the Family Fun Day at 6785 Telegraph Road on September 17th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is for the Birmingham Pediatrics and Wellness Center. Their patients are also going to be offered a flu shot clinic at this event. The applicant has secured additional parking from the office buildings both to the north and south of them, and there will be no music and no signage. All of the advertising is being done through social media, and this is the first time this has been held in the township, but they have held this event at other locations, at their other location in Troy in the past. So Cynthia is here to add any more comments. I'll just mention real quick that there will be 5 10-by-10 tents set up in the parking lot. That does not require or trigger building permit application. And there'll be face painting, emergency vehicle tours, snacks and food, and of course getting flu vaccines that day as well. Here's the site plan, Telegraph Road being the bottom of the screen, and the event really being held on the back part of their property next to the wall, back in the back. And here is the actual, so this last row of cars, and then this travel aisle is essentially where the event will be taking place. And this is just a view back towards Telegraph Road, Telegraph Road being out here. And again, just more of the parking lot. And then the emails giving permission to use the adjacent properties for overflow parking are here in the packet as well. Township departments have reviewed and have been supportive of the request, and those comments are made part of the file as well. So with that, I'll turn it over to Cynthia.
Hi, I'm Chinsia. Thank you for hearing this today. So we just moved here prior to COVID, so we haven't had this event yet come up. But we were in Troy prior to this, and we used to have it yearly in Troy. We have our sister office in Washington Township, and we have it there and have that scheduled for October. So basically it started honestly for our families and to have a fun way to give the flu vaccine, because kids, love shots. So they come, they get their shots, but then they have this fun event to look forward to. So it's a quick poke in the office, and then they go back outside and have fun. Excuse me. So we invited the sheriff's department and the fire department, so they're going to bring vehicles so the kids can, go in them and do all that. We have the face painting. So it's just kind of a fun thing so that hopefully shots aren't such a bad thing for the kids. So that's really the gist of it. It is also open to the public if anyone wants to attend, but the primary audience is our own patients.
And parking-wise, there's enough for overflow? They have extra to give?
Yes.
Yes, they're closed on Saturday next door at Fifth Third Bank.
Makes it pretty easy.
Yes, so that was nice, and they were very gracious to say yes to our parking. And then on the north side, there is another building with a parking area, and they were gracious enough to say yes as well. So, that should definitely help us. Yeah.
Else have any questions?
I have no questions.
Now I'd look for a motion.
I move that we approve the special events application as submitted.
Motion by Clerk Brooks, support by Treasurer Keeps. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
That does pass.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Is that I'm all set then? Thank you very much.
Give out a lot of, shots.
There you go.
Go white.
All right, so next we have signs. We'll start with 2125 South Telegraph Road with Lens Crafters. Anybody
So
here
let-
from Lens Crafters?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lens Crafters is moving into the old Panera site at this address at 2125 South Telegraph Road. They're asking for 3 signs. The sign there it is. The sign you see here faces Telegraph, and it is 36.8 square feet in size. The allowable size would be 52.10 square feet based on the leasable frontage area. The second sign is facing north, if you will, and it is a duplicate sign, same size, 36.8 square feet. This would require zoning board of approval as secondary signage, as would the 2 square foot permanent window sign. This is the window sign that says eye exams, and again would require zoning board for secondary signage. This would be in the Telegraph facing windows. And I just have a few pictures. As you see, a lot of work going on, touching up the facade paint and so forth. Through the scaffolding, you can see there is a vinyl covering over the window. It says Lens Crafters, and I couldn't read the rest of that based on it being covered up. And then on the north elevation, the windows at this point are just blacked out, and That's possibly for the interior remodel going on, so they can, have some coverage for that. But we can get clarification. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that we would needed to have a discussion about this window vinyl as, at least a temporary sign at this point, or not. It's kind of a discussion to have.
So none of the others, do you want to go ahead? Sorry.
Hi, I'm Donna Holke from Inner City Neon. I'm the sign company representing LensCrafter. You probably have questions, so. They want the second sign because coming from the south, no, coming from the north heading south, that way you can see it before you've already passed it, because it's a busy area right around there.
My question.
And they always have the window sign, the eye exam one, inside the windows. So that's just a standard thing.
Those are my two big issues, is nobody else has ever needed that, and they've all been pretty successful. The question is, if we let one, won't they all want? I mean, if I was Cycle Bar, I'd want to be right next to them, because why would one get it and the others not? I think that's my fear, is opening that.
And Panera Bread didn't have a sign there, did they?
No, nobody has. Art Van, anybody who's been, nobody's had a second sign, right? That's my biggest concern. And then if they're...
It's not on a corner. I mean, on occasion on a corner, we've agreed that might be needed for business reasons, but I'm just not seeing what the business reason is to waive the requirement in this situation, given we haven't done it before.
Especially when you have to pass it anyway to go through a Michigan left, don't you?
Yeah.
So you really have to pass
Yes, yes.
it. So it wouldn't really stop anyone from passing it. That might be why we haven't done anything on that side.
Fair to assume that, and I don't recall seeing, I drive by all the time, but there's not a corresponding one on the other end of that short strip mall for Cycle Bar, or whoever was there too. So, I'm not inclined to support the additional second signage there. I mean, the 2-foot square window sign seems okay since it's within the total 52.1 allowed. That still would require ZBA approval, right, as a second sign?
It would be.
Yeah, because it'd be a permanent one. And we just did the crackdown on all the temporaries. What is that made of?
I'm sorry?
What is that made of? Like, what will it look like, or?
It's made out of aluminum with routed letters pushed through.
And which window does that go on?
It's the facing telegraph, it's the window facing telegraph. I have,
Which
On the
which window?
right-hand side
There's
of
a lot
that
them.
entrance.
I think it's
I think
this
it's
one?
that one right there.
That's what I thought, but then he said the right side one.
yep, it's right there.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Not above the door, but next,
Correct.
one
Right.
right, just directly to the right.
Yeah.
Donna, if the sign on the north side of the facade wasn't, if you didn't receive approval for that, would you want to increase the size of the front sign then? You know?
I don't think so, because it's pretty much,
Max
we
is
really
out.
couldn't, we really couldn't go a whole lot larger on it.
Okay.
So I think they will just keep it as is. If they only can have the one, they'll keep that one, and possibly, I don't know if they'll go for the eye exam for the variance just for that, but they may. So, I mean, if you could approve that part of it, if you're going to not approve the others, if you could approve the eye exam if ZBA approves it, that way we're set.
Those two together are still under the normal amount, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they wouldn't need the window cling, because then, which is temporary, because they'd have the eye exam letting you know where to walk in, right? Because aren't those usually Wayfinder, those decals, is to figure out
I
which
think
door,
that's
but
probably
if they
just for
have,
construction, I would imagine. Is that the reason for the?
Yeah, we didn't put it there, so I'm not sure,
I would imagine
but,
that's what it is.
I mean, sometimes we put them on the door with the hours, we just have the name and the hours on the door. But I think that's there probably for the contractors to find them.
okay.
Not that the scaffolding doesn't give it away, but
Do you have an idea when they're supposed to open?
I was told today they were opening September 16th, which is next week, but I'm guessing that's not the case, but it's soon.
And if they do have the blacked out windows, we won't have to worry about temporary signs going up, right? So there is that. That's a constant battle here is the,
So they cannot have any vinyl in the windows at all? Okay.
Well, they can't have signage in the window if they want to have vinyl.
Like a graphic is
No.
considered? They can't have it, okay. Because they do that in a lot of their stores, and originally we did
I know
show
we
it.
had to explain to a lot of national chains
So,
that we don't
right,
do that.
that's why
here.
I want to make sure they know, don't do that.
Five Guys was the most recent one to get an eye-opening experience. Yeah. I mean, it seems simple. That one's pretty, it's not very over the top, the eye exam one. Being that they're both, like you pointed out, they're both still under the size. My big issue was just once you let one on that side, they're all going to want to be on that side.
Right.
Well, can I make a motion?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the Telegraph, the facade sign on Telegraph frontage, and also recommend for ZBA approval the, what is it, eye
Exams.
exam, and not approve the north facade. Did that make sense?
Yes, and removal of the vinyl.
Well, I would say removal of this vinyl by October 1st. So I'm sure they're going to move it before they open anyway, but
Support.
So motion by Treasurer Keith, support by Clerk Brook. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Does pass.
thank you.
Thank you.
You.
Next, for signs, we have 3580 West Maple Road with Go Health Henry Ford Urgent Care.
This is a replacement sign. Previously, the PNC Bank ground sign was located in this same location. And what we have here is a 21 square foot ground sign that is set back 7 feet from the right-of-way. Mention right off the bat that will require a variance. The prior sign for PNC also went through the variance process. They, however, were at a 0 front yard setback when 25 feet is required. So this request is for a 7-foot setback where 25 foot is required. You can see, well, that measurement's really tiny here, but there's the location of the sign, and that's 7 feet right in there. The applicant has received, did appear and receive approval through the Bloomfield Village Association HOA for this sign. One other bit of information is that the sign itself, while you see is white with the colored lettering, only the letters will be illuminated. The white will be of a material that the light will not be able to shine through, so you'll only see at night this configuration right down here. And
So it's going to be lit from, not like an architectural light, but lit from within?
within, yes. So the village letter got a little off-center there. Sorry about that.
Were you running when you did it?
And here's existing conditions. The sign would go right there in that landscape island. It is, of course, required to be landscaped in this area as well. Again, the location right in there. The building itself. That's the view looking to the west. Here is the little landscape island where the sign will be located. I will turn it over to the applicant for any additional details.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. He pretty much said it all for me. We're just requesting a 7-foot setback for the sign, which it is required to have a 25-foot setback, but we cannot meet that. The sign would end up in the parking lot. Like he also mentioned, that the bank did have a sign there that went through ZBA and was approved at 0 setback. So we are getting the sign back further from the right-of-way than the bank did. And we did also get HOA approval at their meeting. They're fine with that, and they just requested with the landscaping, a little bit more landscaping. So revised drawing was submitted showing more landscaping at their request, I believe.
Is that what this picture is?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Is there a picture showing it to them this way instead of an aerial, or they were okay with that?
They were okay with that.
I have no questions.
Not even about the illumination? Who else nearby there is illuminated from within as opposed to our typical lighting from up?
Bank of America. Not sure if Bloomfield Commons has any illumination letters. You know, the big monument sign.
Schwartz and Company, are they
I thought
ground lit,
theirs-
or is that?
That's ground lit, yeah.
Yeah, this sign is internally illuminated, which is a better source of illumination with indirect lighting out into landscaping areas. They're low to the ground, and in Michigan, you get 2-3 feet of snow. Those lights can be buried in the snow. So if it was Florida, perhaps it'd be a better way, but in Michigan, with the snowfall we have, the indirect lighting, a lot of times on monument signs will get buried and serve no purpose of illuminating the sign at night.
How tall is this sign? If you can still
3
see that
feet
whole
overall
sign,
height.
3 feet. Oh, so the sign would be under snow, too. I always do enjoy our banter. I will say you're a good sport, because every time you come here. But yes, along with the lights, the sign would be buried under 3 feet of snow.
At that footage, yes, it would.
Those inside lights wouldn't do much good then either.
It would melt the snow.
Take a lot more snow to cover that sign than the indirect lighting would.
You can see a glow in the snow, maybe.
I don't have an issue with it as it's presented. I guess my only concern is to, you're showing perennial only, and in terms of flowers, and I'd like to see some year-round plantings in addition, and I think I'd like to see it a lot more robust, like the sign used to, like the plantings used to be. And so I'm going to make a motion to approve the sign as submitted and to have landscaping represented for administrative review, enhanced, and have year-round in addition to flowering plants for the summer.
Support.
Motion by Treasurer Keep, support by Clerk Brooke. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No.
Thank
Sorry, I
you.
can't get past the lighting, but it passed. You're good.
All right, thank you. Thanks. Have a good day.
Two.
All right, so that passed 2-1. Next, we have 42505 Woodward Avenue with Bloomfield Legal Office Center.
So here we have a request for a 64 square foot wall sign in your packet. It's located right in this area here, and it will be labeled Bloomfield Legal Office Center, and there is one tenant, Advanced Dermatology and Cosmetic Surgery. So this is the lettering as proposed. And the 64 square foot is the maximum size, so there would be no other signage permitted without zoning board approval on this building for any other tenants unless they utilized the spaces in the wall sign itself. So that basically the request. Signage would go in this area here. That's the side of the building. And so I will turn it over to the applicant for any further details.
Question for you, Wade. Are you saying that both Advanced Dermatology and Bloomfield Legal collectively are 64 square feet, and that's the maximum allowed for the building?
This sign, the square footage here is the maximum square footage that would be permitted. Now, they could add other tenants onto the
Okay.
sign if others came into the building based on their floor plan.
And what are the colors?
Oh, sure. Currently, we're just a dark bronze, something complementary. They're not looking to do any colors or anything like that. Solid color. The background is all opaque, also a solid opaque color. So
And then
pretty
what about the
straightforward.
coloring of the letters?
I'm sorry, sir?
The color of the letters?
White.
White, okay.
White. Yeah, it's something clean.
Okay.
And that way it won't fade, and it's a UV protected material, so you don't get, that yellowish look and anything like
And
that.
they're illuminated as well?
Yes, sir. Internally, yes.
Any questions?
I do not. No other questions. I'm going to make a motion to approve as submitted.
Motion by
Support.
Clerk Brooks, support by Treasurer Keeps. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That does pass.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Yeah, monument signs I can't handle lit up, but tiny little letters. Bright orange. All right, so we have 7480 Bingham Road, Glens of Bloomfield.
Yes, so we just received the signage package this morning, so we have not had time to review that. At the August 17th meeting, the motion was to table till this meeting. So that's why we're back to get either further discussion or another table to a time certain, or however you all would like to proceed.
So we haven't had, Martin was just saying he didn't have it either. So since we haven't had a chance to look at it, we'll
Right.
look for a motion maybe to table it.
Well, quite frankly, it's been before us how many times?
So third visit?
Four
times?
I believe.
This motion 3, I think the first one was approval for the temporary sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
My sense is that the temporary sign was put up outside of ordinance. We've allowed it to continue for how many months now, Wade?
I believe we started talking about this in either April or May.
Yeah, it's been a number of months, and we've shown, I think, a lot of leniency and patience, and the last meeting, we asked them to provide landscaping. Also, we discussed matching the brick with the brick wall. I haven't seen
I didn't see what came
it
from
in
it.
detail.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I would suggest that we, we give them a week to take down the temporary sign, and if they come back, they come back, and if they don't, they don't. I mean, this has been going on for a long time now.
By Treasurer Keeps.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
That's a motion.
So the motion is to remove the approval, but to have the temporary sign removed in 1 week. Is that enough time, Patty?
In 1 week, sure.
I'm sorry?
Yes, 1 week is satisfactory
Okay.
to remove a sign, yes.
Okay, to remove the sign, and we'll go from there.
You want to put them back on for review on the next one since it'll be available?
Quite frankly, I mean, it's up to them what
Okay.
they want to do, so I don't know, Patty, if we just, I mean, I guess I don't want to deny it.
They have made application.
Okay,
They just turned it in too
So they
late.
are asking for this to be tabled so that there's sufficient review to be put on the next design review board agenda.
okay, so I guess
could make a motion to
I'll make a
remove.
motion to table it until the next design review board, but to remove the temporary sign within 7 days.
Motion by Treasurer Keeps.
Just questions for his clarity. That would mean that, it's more than 7 days between now and the next design review board meeting, so there'll be no sign for that, whatever that period of time is. Right?
I think he's insinuating that 5 months was enough.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting till the last second.
More than insinuating.
Yeah.
Pretty much, that's the
I'll
case.
second it.
Is there, well, okay. I had one question. Could I ask one, the applicant? Is there, what's the reason why for the delay?
Well, 2 meetings ago, that sign was proposed, but we had taken it back to our sign designer to reevaluate the whole signage. So there's 1, 2, 3 other major sign replacements, and then internal signs. So with the holiday last week, and I was out with the surgery, I submitted it last night, so I didn't, I apologize, I didn't have 2 weeks to send it in. You know, I realized when I clarified with Wade, I thought the meeting was a month away, but I didn't realize there was bi-monthly meetings, and I didn't know submitting it the day before was going to cause such an issue.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the plans are done, to be clear. They,
I know, but we haven't had a chance to look.
I know, yeah.
Even the department couldn't even look at it, so it's not like it's just the three of us. Nobody had a chance to look.
yeah, I understand.
But the next meeting, at least it's 2 weeks from now, not a month from now. So it'd only be about a week or so that they'd be out.
There is existing signage on that wall,
Yeah,
so there is identification.
There's definitely signage in the property.
yeah. So I'll second it. So motion by Treasurer Keeps, second by Supervisor Walsh. All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
No.
So that's 2 to 1. So you understand that they have to take down the temporary, though? Okay. And then we'll see you at the next meeting.
Okay.
All right.
What is the date of the next meeting?
21st.
21st. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have site improvements for 2008 West Long Lake Road for Walnut Lake Number 3 Pump Station Building.
So the applicants have appeared before the zoning board and were approved back in October of 2020 for this replacement building. And the location is off Long Lake and Meadow Court. It's actually up here on private property within an easement. Correct?
We actually own the property.
You own the property?
Yes.
Okay. And so the proposal is for a 10 by 16 foot pump station structure for the Oakland County Water Resource Commission. And I'm scrolling to the elevations of the proposed building. Did I? Yep.
That one,
There.
those two right there.
And so I know the applicant has brought sample material board for you all to look at. I'll turn it over to you all to discuss further the materials in the building.
So as part of the rehab of this pump station, we're converting over to a building to house the electrical equipment and some of the valves for the station, and then there'll be a conversion of the wet well that currently just brings the flow into the station that's currently below grade. Currently, the station is a steel tube where we house the pumps and valves. And for safety reasons, we're converting over to a building like this that makes life easier for our operators and safer for our operators. So as part of the process, we went to the zoning board for approval. And now that we've got a contractor on board, we actually have samples to show. We've shown the homeowner who's adjacent to the property, and we're here to show you guys the samples as well. So we were originally told we couldn't use a green roof, so we've gone with a charcoal roof, steel roof.
Did you see that smile Patty gave you?
No green.
I didn't say no green.
Even green and white.
They're looking at the U of M girl.
Right, and then also
That looks nice.
Okay.
the beauty of this site, actually, you can't see the building from the road because we're probably 20 feet below the road surface, and we have paid to the adjacent homeowner for him to landscape between his home and our property so that he won't be able to see our building. So we've taken steps to mask the site, because at the end of the day, we really don't want anyone to be there
Right.
and bothering the facility, because it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's a pump station pumping flow away from homes.
These are existing
This is
pictures.
the existing site. As you can see, the generator will stay where it's at, and then that green structure there, which houses the steel, it's the top of the steel can, will be removed. That area will be paved, and then the building will be built to the right of that site. And I believe we're adjacent to wetlands, but the sewers, we can't really move the location of the sewer or the pump station.
Did you make
I
any
mean, I should
comment?
say anything's possible, but realistically,
Anyone have any questions?
This is, you've already been to ZBA, so this is the last step in the process? Anyone else's approval required? Or?
Not at this point, because they've been preparing engineering drawings, correct?
yeah, we've submitted engineering drawings. Everything's been approved. We've gone through Eagle for their approval. That took a lot of time. Apparently, the zoning board requirement is 1 year from the time you submit, and we're past that 1 year. So I guess we have to go back, or we can ask for a variance. I don't know what the,
You've submitted any documentation to our engineering department for permitting?
yes.
Yes, so that qualifies as you've sought permits, which is a criteria. Within 1 year, you have to seek permits from the township.
Okay.
So that they have perpetuated the approval then. So there's no need to go back to the ZBA.
So I'll make a motion to approve as submitted and contingent upon, I guess, a satisfactory arrangement with the neighbor in terms of providing landscaping.
So we have met with the neighbor, and he has given approval for the color scheme.
Okay. Just-
Motion by Treasurer Keeps,
Support.
support by Clerk Brooke. All in favor? Aye. That does pass.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other recent, are we going to go over the 2300 South Telegraph Road?
Well, just as an update, yes. This event came in after the last Design Review Board meeting, and it had a date prior to this meeting. So it was circulated and got comments from a couple of you. The event did not happen because of a mix-up at DTE. The September date was actually an event in Detroit, and so the event here in Bloomfield Township will be October 1st. So they will be coming before you all at the 21st Design Review Board meeting. But since I had talked to several of you about it, I wanted to just update you that it didn't happen yet. It's forthcoming.
And as Wade said when he showed it to us,
weekend?
that's why we have any new activities.
That's right.
Quick question is this the same weekend as ours? Or are we the 8th? We have waste events, one in October, one in November. Okay. But they'll be before us, so we have time to figure that out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
I was gonna say, we have our shredding and e-waste
Right. I can't
in
remember what weekend
October,
that is.
and then November is the household hazardous.
Are they asking for approval of this now, or are they coming back again?
No, they're going to come back September 21st for official approval,
Thank you.
but just wanted to give you all an update.
Thank you.
All right, so our next meeting date will be September 21st. So I look for a motion to adjourn.
Move we adjourn.
Moved by Clerk Brooke,
Support.
support by Treasurer Keeps. All in favor?
Aye.
That does pass.